Hi, I'm Bob Hunt. I'm the Director of Audio at Hearts and Science.
And I'm Naomi Smolevitz. I am the Head of Digital Audio for OMD.
Ideally, more and more. Our team crosses everything from the natural terrestrial space, streaming and podcasting. That being said, the clients that we work with are increasingly asking about podcasting. Also, as podcasting is becoming a greater part of the overall ad-supported pie in audio, we're leaning in more into it.
I mean, our teams are dedicated audio experts, so we're really only working on audio, but that includes terrestrial, a little bit of satellite, streaming audio, music, as well as podcasting. I would say in the last couple of years, whereas, if we looked 5-6 years ago, most of our the majority of the spend was still in terrestrial. That's definitely no longer the case. I would say it's more than 50% digital at this point if we wanted to look kind of an average across our clients. Obviously that does vary, and podcasts, depending on the clients, depending on the audience they're trying to reach, it could be the majority of our digital spend. It really just depends on, what the clients are and who their audiences are.
Yeah, we're seeing podcasting and audio grow every year. We also are starting to get, even if clients are not investing in podcasting, they are at least asking questions about podcasting, which is really exciting. I think before we started, really, fully diving into the podcast space, say, 3-4 years ago, it was still maybe a side thing for certain clients who are interested. Now, everyone is at least asking questions about it, which is really fun.
I mean, it's definitely to see, what's out there. Obviously, we're working with a lot of these partners every day, certainly some more than others. So I think it's just interesting to see the variety, what shows are out, not just the talent and what shows they have available, but, what else are they doing, right? Where are their innovations in data and tech and measurement, and how are different publishers adopting them within their ecosystem? We're trying to build really an audio platform for our agencies. So seeing where some of these other companies can work with us, I think that's what we're looking to do.
I think something we're always looking for is just further transparency in terms of the type of people who are listening, how much they're listening, types of shows, stuff of that sort. I think also one thing I'm always looking for is one thing that's really fun about being here is learning what other people are doing too. I think it's a fun space where everybody's really excited about growing the space and being part of it. And while we're trying to grow a lot, we also know a lot of the agencies across, just Steeler Holdcos, Brand Direct, and the podcast agencies, they do a ton as well. And we always are trying to keep an ear out for what they're up to and go back to our clients and just, show the holistic excitement in the space, not just what we're up to.
I think the technology piece is definitely big. I think, I'll get back to that in a sec. I think a lot of outside of the technology piece, a lot of clients are interested in, talent relationships, right? Working with hosts as influencers, that's definitely a big part of the conversation, especially as video podcasts are growing and opportunities to really showcase the brand. But I think for us as buyers, it's really about the technological aspect, being able to measure podcasts in the same way that we measure other digital mediums. I think that's very much how a lot of our clients look at it. But right now, podcasts is just a lot of nuance to how we, target and measure in this space. So being able to work with some of the other partners that our clients are already working with will definitely make things a lot easier.
No, I think for us, the audio is very much, the podcast space specifically, is its own ad tech ecosystem. And one thing we're always fighting for is, a lot of our clients are used to seeing things more holistic across all the channels and being able to port into that. So they see the success that audio and particularly podcasting drives. We want them to grow that amount of investment. One thing we do as part of our our pitch decks highlight, these are all the companies in the audio tech space just across, not just partners we work with from a media standpoint, but measurement, brand safety, etc. I think one thing I'm very excited about seeing is this ecosystem going to stay the same, or maybe will there be more acquisitions in the space, things on that end, or be more maybe if companies aren't, say, maybe buying a company, would they create an integration with a company to create that data as part of that holistic view, which so. Podcasting and I think one thing that I think has always endured with podcasting is the people who are in it really love it, and everybody's really excited about it. I feel like when you talk to people who are in social or thing, I don't feel like there used to be that youthful exuberance to be in social or other parts of the space, right? And I don't feel like it's there as much anymore, versus everybody in podcasting really loves it, and they want the whole space to grow in a way that I don't see, and they may not I hope every channel has that, but yeah.
I feel like a lot of the reason why that is, and I think we heard it in one of the presentations earlier, was these hosts and talent, they really see their listeners as friends, and you can really build community, and I think you kind of see that on the ad side as well, whether it's marketers, buyers, right? People that listen to, when you talk to clients that listen to podcasts, they're like, oh, I like this. So we had a client come to us and say, I want to do, a special episode on the rewatchables. We went to Spotify and said, this is what I want you to do a show about, and it looks like it's going to happen. So I think when you have relationships like that with the medium, it really, you can build a lot of energy and enthusiasm around it.
I think also to that point, so much of what we do is so much about the algorithmic feed, right, and what it's fed to you. And the thing podcast is still real personal connection. You actively choose to hit that subscribe button or hit that download button or anything of that sort, right? And that doesn't exist in other places. I mean, obviously there's shows and sport or other things, right? But I feel like it is that power is really unique, and it can't be matched in a lot of places.